Those who know Kurt Watson say he's as die-hard a Jayhawk fan as they get. But there was one game when he had to root against KU. It was 2003, and Watson's son Brett was playing for Binghamton University in a game against KU in Allen Fieldhouse.
I could safely root for Binghamton that night because I knew Binghamton didn't have a chance, so I could wear the green and be safe knowing that the Jayhawks were going to win. But it's pretty tough when your son's on that other sideline and you're not rooting for him. So we certainly had to root for Binghamton, but we didn't do a very good job because they got pummeled.
Watson grew up in Hayes, listening to KU games on the radio. He majored in education at the university during the early 1970s, selling clothes at Campbell's Menswear to pay for school and marrying his wife Sue along the way. His plan was to teach high school and coach, but shortly before graduation, a friend suggested he try a different career, banking.
One morning I was getting ready to go to work, and I was all suited up, ready to go, and so I went to the first bank I came to and walked in thinking, gosh, they're going to hire me right away, and of course I was summarily dismissed from that first opportunity. I got back to the car and I said, I got two choices. Number one, I can just go ahead and go to work and complete my degree and teach and coach like I thought, or I could go to the next bank. And I thought, well, I'm ready to go, so I walked down to the next bank, which happened to be Douglas County Bank. And I walked in, and they said, sure, we'd love to talk to you, and asked me to sit down with Max Falkenstein. And so Max had been a guy that I'd listened to on the radio for years, and just so happened, 30 minutes later, I was sitting in the bank president's office, and I was a banker.
I did get him a job in the banking business, and he shot past me like a bullet. And went on to a very high-level position in banking in Wichita and was extremely successful in everything that he's done, frankly, in business ever since those days when he used to sell men's clothes.
The Watsons moved to the Wichita area in 1981, where Kurt later became vice president of Bank 4 and then president and CEO of IMA Financial Group. It was shortly after the move to Wichita that Watson met two other dedicated Jayhawks in the area, Jordan Haynes and John T. Stewart, who encouraged him to give back to his alma mater.
I found that the people that were engaged in the university, not only did they care deeply, but they were committed to making the university a better place, and it's easy to get caught up in that. When you have a love of place like you do for KU, and then to really get engaged is something that has meant a lot to me in my life.
Watson's long list of contributions to KU include chairing the Board of Trustees at KU Endowment from 2006 to 2010, serving as a member of the KU First Capital Campaign Steering Committee, serving on advisory committees for athletics and the School of Business, and serving on search committees to hire a new chancellor and the dean of the KU School of Medicine in Wichita. Kurt and Sue currently are co-chairs of the Far Above Capital Campaign.
In the over 25 years that I've known Kurt, I cannot recall a time that he was not serving on some committee, task force, board, in some position relating to the university. I mean, it has been continuous, and one good thing is he had the good sense to marry somebody who may be more obsessed with KU than he is. So
he's a giver and he's a doer. And he's been very successful and involved in anything that has set his mind to. So KU is no exception there, and he's fallen in love with the Jayhawks and has given a great deal of his time and his efforts to various KU endeavors over the years.
Well, I do enjoy doing it, and the reason I do is because I have such a great belief in the product. I mean, I don't think you can be an effective salesperson or fundraiser or leader if you don't believe in your product and what it's all about. So that part's really easy. I can get very passionate about Kansas and the university, and so it's easy for me.
That enthusiasm often puts him in the role of KU representative for the Wichita area. He and Sue helped start the Jayhawk Roundup there, and sometimes he even takes his KU support on the road.
Kurt has always been a marvelous ambassador for the university, and probably the best example of that is that he and Sue will travel with me and Helen and frequently it's to a place that is frequented by quite a few people from the East Coast, a lot of Ivy League graduates, and invariably Kurt will get on the subject of KU, and he'll talk to a Yale graduate, and he'll start trying to convince him that the University of Kansas is a better school than Yale. And by the time he's finished, I think many times they kind of have a little doubt in their eye, wondering, sounds like a great place.
I've been blessed to have the opportunities that I've had at Kansas, being associated with all the great people that I've met and worked with, particularly in the endowment setting. I tell everybody all the time, every time I go to a meeting in Lawrence and are surrounded by these successful, bright people who are committed to doing the right thing, I always walk away from there pumped up, ready to go back and try to be better in my business life, and so that's what I've received from this, and I hope in some small way we've been able to give something back to the university as well. Because if we've given just a tenth of what we've received, then I'll feel good about it.